let's actually get into this next take.
Yeah, we probably went way over on that,
Yeah, I might
but
just split it up into like two things.
yeah.
Yeah. What was the next take again?
The Stephen A stuff. I mean, kind of just
Oh,
goes on the track of us talking about LeBron and Bronny anyway. So,
oh man. Oh yeah. Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith. I remember we had this conversation when we first with Nathan Burnett when we hopped
hmm
on, and we both collectively agree we do not like Stephen A. Smith,
hmm
and we was like people in the media, they don't really watch the games, and they say certain stuff to get a rise out of players, or they trying to twist their
hmm
words. And Stephen A. Smith is a prime example of that, because why are you going so hard on Bronny? He's drafted 55th overall, and of course, yeah, he's a nipple baby, like nepotism. But
hmm
you're not giving him a fair shot in the league. We seen players who had that shot, like Isaiah Thomas, who was drafted 60 overall. And I'm not saying Bronny has the same resume as Isaiah Thomas, because Isaiah Thomas coming off of college, he was actually a
hmm
dynamic scorer. But at least give him a chance. You're not talking about any other player. You stay having Bronny in your mouth. You have multiple videos because you know that bringing engagement, that bringing views. It's scummy. It's some scummy stuff.
hmm
Now he's on a Gilbert Arena show, calling LeBron soft and weak and stuff, but he couldn't say that in his face. That's what I think is a coward. When you can't say this in front of somebody's face in that moment, that's cowardism. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't keep that same energy, and that's what Stephen A. Smith really is. What you
hmm
think?
All right, I'm gonna get some heat for this, but I'm actually gonna take sort of an opposite approach.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, because I'm curious. After you said your take, have you seen Stephen A's response to
I
everything?
seen part of his response. I cut it off for a certain, because it seemed like he was backtracking a little bit, like where he
I
switched it up.
don't. I don't necessarily think it's backtracking. I think it's just acknowledging and apologizing whatever he's done, which I can respect.
Okay.
I've kind of come around on my take on Stephen A. Smith. I don't necessarily hate Stephen A. Smith. I hate Kendrick fucking Perkins, which is a whole other issue. I
Okay.
joked again with Swissio. We said that Kendrick Perkins' job is to be professional rage baiter
Yeah.
for the ESPN in order to drive engagement.
No, for
But
real.
which is kind of what you said, but um you said it was everybody. I think it's like Kendrick Perkins especially.
Hundred
Um
percent. 100%.
uh but with Stephen A. Smith, he said something and he was basically saying like that wasn't like he said something along the lines of like whenever LeBron was yelling at me, that wasn't LeBron the player yelling at me. That was LeBron the parent yelling at me.
Yeah.
And I agree. And I sort of have this stance where Stephen A. Smith said there I need to understand the line. Like he kind of apologized, and again, like you and others may see it as backtracking, but he
Okay.
kind of apologized and said there is a line between discussing Bronny as a player and discussing Bronny as a person.
Yeah.
And I need to not attack Bronny as a person because of who his father is. And I agree with that. However, the stance that I take is people like LeBron and everybody else
Mm-hmm.
have to understand it the same exact way, going the other way, that there's a difference between a player and the person. Where, like, not to put the blame on LeBron himself or anything, but again, with being a Nepo baby, like, you named your son LeBron James Jr. You gave him that name. You knew what that was going to do. You tried to get him drafted to your team as much as like you could in order to play with him.
Yeah.
You sort of initiated a lot of this stuff and sort of brought it on yourself for Bronny to be open to criticism. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to put a target on Bronny's back,
Okay.
if you are not necessarily put a target on Bronny's back, but if you are going to open the door for him to receive this level of criticism, this level of analysis, of people sort of honing in on him and putting him in like the media starlight and media spotlight and everything, in order to give him these chances by being your son, then you also have to be ready for the negatives of that. You can't just sort of put him on the Lakers and cherry pick that you want the positives of him being able to be on the Lakers with you and be in the NBA and everything. You have to be ready for the fact that there are going to be more cameras on him. There's going to be more media attention on him because you fucking named him LeBron James Jr. It's obvious that people are going to compare him to you. And again, Stephen A. Smith said there's a difference between a player and a person, and LeBron can be protective as a parent. And he can say, don't attack my son's character. Don't attack my son as a person. Don't say like things, negative things about my son as a person on camera in front of national TV, in front of, millions of people. However, I think it's perfectly within Stephen A. Smith's right to fucking criticize Bronny's stats, can criticize Bronny's basketball and compare it to LeBron and everything else like that, because LeBron did that to Bronny.
Okay.
And again, if LeBron as a parent feels like Stephen A. Smith is attacking too much of Bronny as a person, then that's his duty to step in as a parent and say, hey, don't attack my son. And that's what all this drama is about. But LeBron also has to take a step back as a parent if the criticism is coming from Bronny's basketball, because again, you have to divide basketball player from parent and be like, what part of Bronny is he criticizing? Is he saying Bronny is like a terrible person and he's a nepo baby and like Bronny never had to work it for anything in his life, stuff like that? Like, yes, that's attacking someone's character.
Okay.
And like their story, their life. Like, you don't know what someone's had to go through to get to wherever they're at. Even if I personally do agree that Bronny is a nepo baby. But if Stephen A. Smith were to come on and be like, Bronny's only, I don't know what Bronny's stats are right now, so I'm just going to BS the stats right now. But if Stephen A. Smith were to come on and be like, Bronny's only averaging 2 points a game with 15 minutes played while LeBron has these minutes, how can you be LeBron's son and not like you were added to I'll take a step back on that and say, like, not necessarily comparing it to LeBron and being like, you're LeBron's son, how can you not put up these numbers? But more so like just comparing him in general to any player. Being like, you're on the Lakers, this is the Lakers standard. Being like, Austin Reeves, like, take another Lakers player and be like, Bronny is playing 15 minutes a game and only averaging 2 points compared to Austin Reeves, who's playing, this many minutes and has this many points. If LeBron were to get mad at that, I'd be like, LeBron, you need to take a step back, quit crying. You made your son an NBA player. He has to be evaluated as an NBA player.
Okay.
You can't just put up a shield and say, I'm LeBron, I'm the face of the league, and you're not going to talk bad about my son. You have to be ready, if you're going to put him in the limelight, to be ready to accept whatever criticism he receives as well. So I kind of ranted on and I kind of repeated myself a bit, but I wanted to explain myself well enough so people don't fire back. Clear. So yeah, but yeah, I'm saying essentially when people say, like, when Stephen A. Smith said like, hey, I don't want to criticize Bronny as a person because there's a line and I have to differentiate. I'm
Yeah.
saying it goes both ways. It goes both ways where, yes, it does differentiate. So while Stephen A. Smith has to divide player and person, so does LeBron as a parent dividing player and person. It goes both ways.
Okay. I would say though, this is just a question. Do you think it's fair for him to say, um, so I was watching a video where he was like, LeBron as a father, Bronny shouldn't be in the league because he's averaging 2 points. Like he literally said that, like what you said, but he never add the minutes played, and he never brings up his G League stats because that's really where
Mm-hmm.
majority of Bronny has been playing this season, versus where he when he did play, he started one quarter one time where he started. It wasn't even LeBron's idea. Stephen A. Smith
Mm-hmm.
even acknowledged it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I know JJ Redick said that he wanted to do this. JJ Redick is the fucking head coach. Like what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's right. Like I see where
Mm-hmm.
you're coming from because yeah, Bronny is a Nipper baby. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But still, like I feel like he's just being unfair. Like
Mm-hmm.
where you're really not putting more perspective on it. You're not acknowledging where he actually excelling at,
Mm-hmm.
and you know you're not even giving him a chance. Like where you're just saying, uh, yeah, yeah, Bronny, like you're doing this in that short amount of time where I feel like that's perfectly okay. Like if you're not playing more than 10 minutes per season, because the NBA is more of a rhythm thing. If you're like you need
Mm-hmm.
more minutes on a consistent basis to play well. Like what I'm saying, it's actually rare that a player is playing well on short amount of minutes each game he plays.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying though. Like I actually like that take. I don't like it that LeBron did it in public in front of everybody. I feel like that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of a bit very immature.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I like. He definitely could have spoken to him and privately about it because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
he was just trying to punk him.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Stephen A. Smith had said that as well. Like, again,
yeah,
in Stephen A.'s response, Stephen A. said, LeBron has my number. He could have called me and we could have discussed it. But instead, LeBron decided to yell at me at a game in front of several people. And now I'm going viral. Like,
yeah,
I think that's was like almost his exact words was like, I got a call from my agent that I'm going viral because LeBron decided to settle this in public.
yeah,
Um, and so yeah, I agree with that. But I think um again to boil down my take into like a sentence or two, I think that LeBron has a point
yeah,
that he should keep Bronny the person out of his mouth, keep LeBron's parenting out of his mouth, but at the same time, LeBron has to accept that Stephen A. Smith's job is to evaluate players, and he has
literally,
every right to break down Bronny's stats.
literally.
So,
Maybe one day we actually dwell on Shaq because Shaq has
mm-hmm.
been getting called out, and I have my own funny moment with Shaq. I don't. I think you remember like how
CJ is famous. He got replies from Shaq in his DMs.
yeah, I got blocked by him.
Yeah,
Yeah. So maybe one day we talk about it because that was the most funniest out of nowhere.
I should hit him up to see if I can be famous too. Be like Shaq, buy my merch. See if he blocks me too. It'll get my name out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Hey. Yeah. Whoever's watching
Shoot my
this.
shot. Hey, what we run a basketball podcast. You know what MJ said? You
Yeah.
miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I gotta start DMing basketball players. Be like, hey, shout out my merch.
Yeah. No. No. For real though. Like, one day we should do that. We should get to the last take though.
All right, so I already put out a promo video, so you guys can go check that out. But I also wanted to kind of give sort of a comparison for you guys, sort of like why should you buy my merch versus other clothes or whatever. obviously it helps support me. I will just say straight up to you guys, I am making almost like no profit off of these. And that's because I just want to put them out for you guys. I'm only making like $1 off of each of these, but if enough of you guys buy them, it's say like 20 people buy them, then that's $20 right there. And if I save enough, that helps me with the videos. I can buy better mics, better cameras, stuff like that. So it goes back into the production of the videos. So it really does help me out. So that's one reason you should buy the merch, because again, like it helps me, um, and all that. It's a way to make a living. But also, I wanted to again kind of do a comparison test and let you guys know that y'all are getting quality stuff. So this is the hoodie I got on. I This is the design I like the best. So whenever I set up my shop, I was given the option of picking out samples, and one of the samples I got are I got five of the same thing, which I probably should have gotten a variety, but I just got five of the same thing, so I could have one, my parents could have one, my girlfriend could have one, and one of my friends could have one. Um, so I bought five of these hoodies because this is the design that I really like the best. So up in the corner, it has Nathan Bunnett, established 2020. I started this podcast in 2020. It's been a crazy 5 years. So again, that kind of goes back to everybody who's been along for the ride this whole time. Including CJ here. He was like one of the first OG guests. But
Oh
on
man.
the sleeves, I got Nathan Bunnett, and then like CJ said, I got Nathan Bunnett in Japanese over here. So I actually met my girlfriend in a Japanese class, and I actually speak Japanese. So I just wanted to mention that for anybody who's skeptical, that the translation, it isn't gonna end up being one of those like Chinese tattoos where like you get a bad translation and it ends up being something actually really bad in Chinese, and like it's a terrible tattoo once you actually have it on you. Like I actually speak like Japanese, so this is a actual valid translation to Nathan Buttnet. You can look it up. It will translate. It should translate perfectly to Nathan Buttnet. But also a quality test. So you can buy my hoodies for. Actually, I'll tell you how much this one was first, because it'll be better shock value that way. uh,
Go ahead, go
I
ahead.
got this hoodie at an anime store.
Wait, hold on. The mic low key cut out.
Okay, sorry. The mic was behind me when I moved, so is it good now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold this up to the camera, so my mic may sound a little quieter, but if you see that, it's already cracking, right? Like
Yeah.
it's already, that hoodie's already cracking after I've washed it. Because I've had this hoodie for like a year. But even with it cracking, I also wanted to compare it because it's a good price comparison. Because for this hoodie, it also has writing on the sleeves, just like mine does. So it's a good price comparison because it has writing on the sleeves like mine. However, I bought this at an anime shop. This cost me $90. $90, almost $100 for this hoodie. And you can get my hoodies down in the description, or you can go to my channel and it's on my channel as well. I sell my hoodies for less than $30. It's $30 with the shipping and with the taxes. But before taxes, it's $27.99. With it getting a little bit warmer nowadays with spring break and summer and all that, I sell my short sleeve shirts for less than $15. So you can go and get some short sleeve shirts for spring break and summer. Long sleeves is about $25, I think. And I also got some tote bags, some stickers, sort of accessories on there as well. But again, I sell my stuff for pretty cheap and it's good quality. So it doesn't crack up like this hoodie, and it's not $90. And yeah. So again, it helps support me. If I get enough people buying them, the money again will go back into my videos. So I'll have like a better setup, better camera, all that good stuff. So go check it out. Appreciate you, CJ, for giving me the time. So
Oh, no problem, man. Hey, bro, I've been with Nathan Burnett since the beginning, since I was literally. I mean, I'm still a small YouTube channel, but you know, like, like we've been there since like the beginning, bro. Like when
yeah,
I think
when
when
we
I
both
deleted
had like less than 500 subs.
like when I deleted my Instagram, bro, he was like the only person who actually reached out to see like, hey, bro, you good, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? I
Oh yeah,
remember that, bro.
dude, CJ went MIA. So I don't know if your audience knows this, but
Yeah,
CJ went MIA one time on Instagram, straight up like deleted his Instagram and like wasn't answering text, nothing,
yeah,
and didn't give anybody a heads up, dog. So I straight up texted this man and I was like, "Motherfucker, did you die? Like, what happened?" And CJ was like, "Nah, I'm good." And I was like, "Bro, everybody's because the thing was is like I guess other people know that like me and you are pretty close because like we
yeah,
kind of started around the same time.
yeah.
I had people from the group chat texting me, being like, "Yo, what's up with CJ?" I was like, "Y'all can't text him yourself," and they were like, "Nah." So I was like the ambassador, like reaching out to you, being like,
Yeah.
"Hey, other people are wondering where you at too. Like, I gotta give them an update, otherwise they're gonna think that I'm the one that killed you or something."
Nah, nah. Oh yeah, yeah, that's my boy, guys. But thank y'all for watching this video. This is episode 6. I'm sorry this video is gonna be like 50 minutes long, but if
Again, it's just me and CJ got good chemistry. Again, it goes
yeah,
back to like we've known each other a while. So when it's me and him,
yeah,
we tend to go for a while.
yeah. Tristan was supposed to be here, but he got busy or something. I was just texting him, he told me he
Hmm.
was like, yeah, he got busy, but yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all for not too long. All right, guys, later.
All right,
Later.
peace out.
Oh man, my stupid thing turned off. All right.